We're dropping into New Norcia. We've been here a few times before, but it's a very interesting little town. It's the only monastic town in Australia and it's quite unique. Some interesting stories associated with it, and we're actually going to do a tour of the place, which we haven't done before, a guided tour, so that'll be interesting to hear what they say and to get to see some areas you don't usually get to see when you're wandering around on your own.
Novitiate. So any monk in training, it was originally a 4-year training course, it still is actually. In the old days the monks would spend the first year in the novitiate, I guess as a novice. They would go to the church, get professed, then they go into the monastery and live there. Then they do that for another 3 years, then they go back to the church and get professionally professed. So this is the second flower mill built in 1879. It's got 3 levels to it, and the top level's in the loft, and that was grain storage. So you've got 1, 2, 3 grain storage, and they would have used a truck with an Archimedes screw to pump the grain up there. I guess the higher up it is, the less mice can get this grain lifting of heavy sacks up and down. And then you've got another strap that would go over to this wheel over here, which operates like this. So you've got these troughs underneath. This still goes round if you look at that.
Tonight we're stopping at the campground for self-contained vehicles at Norcia. No facilities, it's $10 a night. Some nice shady trees down here. We've packed ourselves up so that we can stick the portable solar panels out the back and get some shade on the coaster. A little bit warmer today than it has been. And of course the vehicles warm up a lot quicker than outside. So a little bit of shade is certainly appreciated. We did the tour for Norcia, which is 2 hours, and very worthwhile doing if you're up here. We'd been through the town numerous times in the past and we just wandered around ourselves and had a little look. But when you do the tour, you get to see inside a lot of the buildings, and that's very interesting indeed. Especially inside the accommodation for students where they've got the chapels. Some pretty spectacular artwork in there. And of course the guide takes you through the history of the place, and you get to learn a little bit more than you would if you were just wandering around on your own. Very interesting. It's not expensive. Ordinary entry fee is $25 a head. Concession I think was $22.50. So if you're up in this area and you want to stop off and have a look at the town, I highly recommend you do the tour. They also sell bread, which is locally made in their own bakery here. Beautiful bread. We bought a 7-seed loaf and a walnut and fruit loaf. Very, very nice bread. Highly recommend you buy some bread while you're here. They've also got some wine, some ale, jams, quite a bit for sale in the information centre there. So really worthwhile stopping and having a look around. You could quite happily spend a couple of $100 here if you really wanted to. This is the hotel at Norcia. Unfortunately, it's no longer open for just general use, but it can be booked for functions and weddings, that sort of thing. The highway has passed the monastery now. There's a bypass road, so it's much more peaceful than it used to be. The heavy haulage trucks no longer go past the buildings in town. Our second last night out for this trip is at Mogumber. It's again self-contained RVs out here, I believe, and it's a donation of $5 a night per vehicle. I'll check that in a minute. That's what it used to be. Quite a bit of space around here to park up. There are toilets available here. I can't say they're the flashiest you're ever going to see, but it's always useful just to have a toilet available, even though we carry the porta potty on board. Well, at the moment the barbecue's out of order by the looks of it, so not that we're worried about that. We do carry our own. Looks like the donation box still in the corner here. Okay, looks like the donation has gone up from $5 to $6. I'll have to pop the other dollar in later in the day. Mogumber Reserve, which is over the other side of the oval here, is usually a really good spot for wildflowers. We're a little late this year, so I don't know if I'm going to bother going to look, but maybe later in the afternoon I'll wander over and see if there's anything left. So like many of these little areas where you can stay overnight, it's 48 hours without other approval, but that's plenty for most people. We've stayed here quite a few times in the past. Nice little area. And if you happen to be here in wildflower season, it's one of the best areas around. This site and Wannamal to the south of here, you can usually depend on really good displays of wildflowers, but as I say, we're a little late this year. The local Progress Association has done a really good job upgrading the old Mogumber Hall. Added quite a bit to it, added this nice big area at the front here. And the hall is available if you're a club, caravan club, motorhome club, whatever, and you want to hire it. It can be hired, and they do have better toilets available. They're generally locked up, but if you hire the hall you get the use of those, and they have showers as well. So very useful for caravan clubs and motorhome clubs, and perhaps any other motorcycle groups, whatever, who want to come out here and have some sort of an event. The Wannamal rest area is usually one of the go-to places for wildflowers. Even when areas around the place are not producing well, you can almost always find a good display of wildflowers here. Even this late in the season, we're still finding quite a few varieties. It's a 24-hour rest area, and according to the sign, you can even use tents here, which is unusual in rest areas. Facilities include toilets and bins. There's shelter and seats. But I guess the one disadvantage of this site is it's very well known and there isn't a hell of a lot of room here. Well, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pretty good trip all in all. The engine didn't play up any more than just making an odd noise, which I think probably is a flange gasket, and we'll get that sorted out very soon. It was a very quick trip. We had no planning, we just had a week open up and we had the opportunity to get out and just go visit some places that weren't too far from home. So hopefully you've enjoyed the little ride with us, and we'll catch you again with whatever little video we've got coming up next. Don't forget, every Saturday morning, as long as we can keep doing it, we'll bring you new videos. So thanks for watching, catch you later, cheers.